Look, I mean, the brand damage, some of that's going to be permanent, but this was a big step for Musk. I think it's the beginning of the end of his time in the Trump administration. It's an off ramp. He'll still spend time with Trump, but clearly this was a huge step back in terms of Doge, a recommitment for Tesla, and from Musk, I might call this probably the best case scenario, at least from an investor perspective.
Isn't Elon Musk scheduled to leave Doge on May 30 anyway? There is a strict 130-day cap on his service as a special government employee. How much of a surprise is it?
Well, the fear that he was going to still be an advisor to Trump, Trump laid that out. So, the view is Musk, he could have recommitted to do it to Trump White House. This was a clear pivot and a much more reading the room Musk than I've seen in many years.
Do you think that Elon Musk got the financial benefit from being associated with Donald Trump in the White House that he was expecting, or the very opposite?
The exact opposite. Since Musk has joined the White House, it's been a train wreck for Tesla, right? In terms of brand damage, tariffs, what we've seen to the stock price. And I think it took on a life of its own.
Well, Elon Musk also told investors he's pushed for lower tariffs, which are compounding Tesla's challenges, even if it's less affected than many other car makers. How much sway does he have there?
Look, Musk is anti-tariffs, and you've seen, some of his back and forth with Navarro and others, because Tesla would be in the center of the storm when it comes to tariffs. And that's why I also believe this tariff issue has actually helped push Musk further away from the Trump administration.
So, do you think they're at odds, or you wouldn't go that far?
I would just say I think Musk recognized between the tariffs and the brand damage, the clock struck midnight. It was time for him to get back to Tesla.
What do you make of the challenge China's BYD is bringing to Tesla globally? BYD's total vehicle deliveries reached over 4 million last year, while Tesla sold 1.8 million globally. Investors are really looking for Tesla's strategy here, aren't they?
Look, BYD's been a major force, but it speaks more to why Musk needs to re-engage with Tesla. I mean, there's huge, I think, competition, but also opportunity for Tesla. But leaders lead, and that's what Musk needs to do. And look, BYD has been a pretty impressive force, especially what we're seeing play out.
Tesla's not providing any forward guidance for the next quarter, citing shifting global trade policy. But Wall Street's already lowered its expectations for deliveries. The bar's fairly low now, isn't it?
Look, low bar, it's always eye of the beholder. I mean, this has been a tough year, and street numbers have come down a lot, but there's challenges. But it also speaks to why Musk needs to be that leader as CEO of Tesla and can't be spending all of his time Mar-a-Lago in the White House.
Well, do you think he's going to be that leader now?
I believe the Musk that I've known the last decade, 15 years, I think, this is the Musk you expect. It's a pivotal time for him to step up. And I think the Doge took on a life of its own, and it was time for him to read the room.
Shares in Tesla are down 41% so far this year. Is it fair value at this level?
Look, I still believe, $300 to $350 is kind of ultimately the fair value as autonomous, as robotics plays out. I think this is a step in the right direction, but there's still clearly challenges ahead.
In recent interviews, you've essentially said you've thrown out the next couple of quarters when it comes to tech, and then probably trade deals will be reached and the outlook will be good. Are you still confident that's the case?
I wouldn't say good from here. I mean, this is a twilight zone environment. I think investors are trying to understand what the rules of the game are. A lot of that's going to come down to Trump deals, what happens with China, what tariffs ultimately look like. And that's part of the frustration. But I do believe next quarter or two investors are going to discount because right now CEOs are playing darts blindfolded.
When do you think these blindfolds will come off?
In this Trump White House, no one knows. But I do believe the walls are caving in. More and more pressure for them to get deals done. Give some outline in terms of what tariffs are really going to be. And look, and I think they misplay their hand, and they're starting to walk back.
Is the Sell America trade shaking the resolve of those in the White House?
I think the Sell America trade's in vogue. And I think that's also why the White House is starting to maybe change course a little. And you're starting to see more comments from Bessent, from Trump. But the reality is that you can't bully the bond market. The dollar speaks for itself, what's happened there. The markets as well as the gold trade.
Dan Ives, thank you for your time.
Thank you.